So baseball, MLB is looking to get a cap. Manfred said that disparity in teams' rosters needs to be cleaned up. And then you also added for football, the Bengals are threatening to relocate if they don't get a new stadium roof.
Which
Relocate
one do you
where?
want to start with, boys? Manfred,
Um,
calling out owners and saying that the disparity is it needs to be cleaned up. When you meanwhile you got owners in the
what a
NFL threatening to leave every second. So,
what a
um,
goddamn hypocrite. Let's
both
start there.
leagues,
Let's just go. Let's go. Um, a hypocrite of the highest order. The
yeah.
way that he, handheld John Fisher through this whole situation and put him on the the governing board or whatever the hell it's called now too, just like doing that at,
Hmm.
and now he has the nerve to say some like little piddling little comment thing to like keep the Yankees owners happy or whatever, or the Dodgers owners happy, like, oh yeah, we should probably get some spending happening. Go F yourself, man. I we all really hate him for what he did to the A's, and the complacency that he basically is allowed to happen over like with a lot of small market teams. The White Sox are having issues. The Royals are
The
they're
Marlins,
starting to threaten the Marlins. The like the list goes on and on. Arizona,
yeah.
that's another one. Like it's just
And the Rays saga
I
has
hate it.
just now taken a new turn because they're
Yep.
currently playing in a minor league team because their roof isn't
Yep, exactly. So,
accessible.
and
You can't play a game
a-
there.
all of a sudden, that deal that they had in place, they were locked in to be basically right across the street from their current site in St. Petersburg. That deal is now gone.
Hmm.
You know, like so now they're back at square
I believe
one.
St. Petersburg or wherever the stadium is at just they want to fix the roof.
Mhm.
And Tampa Bay the Rays are like, "No, we want a stadium." So
Yeah, there's like I
it's
don't
just a
even know where to
mess.
begin with that, but yeah, that whole situation is a cluster of the highest order, and it's just like the people that are getting screwed the most are fans, and
Yeah,
we got screwed
absolutely.
big
I
time.
mean,
Like,
you know,
yeah,
speaking, about, Manfred and John Fisher is, what I'll say is like, yeah, it's definitely hypocrisy. It's, 100%. Just a few years ago, Manfred was saying it's going to be a major mistake for MLB to leave the city of Oakland just because of like how many people are here. You can go and look at the numbers. It's only been a week or so. The A's in Sacramento, they barely got a sellout on opening night, and then you're telling me that they got another 10,000 on the other games? Nah. We know small crowds. That stadium was empty and it can only hold about 14,000 fans. It's only about 10,000 seats. And then you
yeah,
got a
and
bunch of
they're
areas
selling.
on the lawn, you
Yeah,
know.
they're now advertising, 2 for $25 ticket specials or whatever too, because
So,
to
I
try to.
mean,
Uh,
it's
I thought they were
failing.
sold out.
It's
I thought they were
failing.
sold out.
We were told by the Sacramento media, we were told by the clown over there at the Las Vegas Review Journal that, oh, these tickets are selling. These are hot. These are flying off the shelves. Well, where's everybody at? You know,
Well,
um,
the other thing too, the piece of shit Kings owner who allowed this to happen, right?
Vivek Ranadive, let's name him. Yeah.
He isn't doing so well with his franchise. I mean, look at the Kings right now. To Vince's point, if ticket sales were so great for either one of those teams, right? Then why are they handing out Tower Bridge double headers? You get the price of two games for $60 to go to a Kings game and go to an A's game. If tickets were
they're
off the shelf, you wouldn't be doing a dirt cheap promo that
they
makes you
are
no money.
directionless organizations that both organizations, the A's, they have not been committed to winning. They have not been committed to winning a World Series. They were never committed to winning. The winning teams that, just a few years ago, Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, those teams that won 97 games, what I believe 3 years in a row, Those teams, that was in spite of the ownership. Those players, all of them, are gone because
Mhm.
John Fisher didn't want to pay them. You could easily have 100-win team right now if you would have retained a majority of that talent. All right. So now they're handing out these contracts. That's all A's fans have been asking for when they were here in Oakland. So there's a reason why they're doing it now. And it's because now that they're in Sacramento, you're trying to get any type of audience you can get, which is not working. No, you've tarnished your brand, you've tarnished your team. And you know what? It's spreading. Look at the photos of other teams. The White Sox, nobody is there.
Mhm.
Nobody is there. And it's happening in Arizona, it's happening in Colorado, it's happening all over the league. People are not going to the game. And I think it's because of a few things. It's because of apathy for ownership. It's apathy of these contracts that teams aren't competitive. Ownerships are after real estate deals and not after really truly competing to win a championship for their franchise. And I think people are seeing through to that. And ground zero was Oakland, and that's just a fact of the matter that I think the narrative, MLB and these other sports teams, they can think that they're winning the narrative. You can go talk to anybody, and I talk to a lot of people in my daily life about, because they know I'm into sports. A lot of people know that I'm avidly talking about this. Um, they already know. They know that the A's weren't serious people, and you talk to them, they talk about the franchises that they're fans of, and they're losing interest. I met a guy the other day. He's like, I'm losing interest in the Mariners because they're just not serious. It was fun. It was exciting when they got the stadium. We had A-Rod, we had Ken Griffey Jr., we had this, we had that, but they're just not serious. It doesn't feel like they're truly committed to winning a World Series. That now even Seattle, with what they did to the minor league team, I think it was Modesto.
Mhm. The
Um,
Modesto Nuts.
the Modesto Nuts, that, oh, we're moving this team unless you give us a new stadium. You think Modesto has the budget to surrender 50 million, 25 million for a minor league baseball team? No, Modesto has a lot of other things. Cities have a lot of other things to do with their checkbook before they hand out hundreds of millions of dollars to a billionaire owner. I'm glad that the A's are failing. I'm glad that everybody's waking up to it, because it's, guess what? Bullshit.
Yep.
It's BS. It's BS that Cincinnati, the stadium's not that old. You designed it that way. The
Exactly.
Cincinnati Bengals designed that stadium. They paid the architect and engineer to have a open roof. Now that everybody else is going to the dome and they get to host concerts and this and that and the other. No, oh, wait, we should have thought of that. We want that now. Well, you should have thought of that when you designed the stadium, which was not that long ago. And then look at the climate that you play in. You're in Cincinnati. You
Yes.
think somebody would have said, "Hey, what's a good idea? Have a dome, because then we can host concerts, we can host events. We don't got to worry about the weather. We could get into the Super Bowl rotation because the weather's going to be perfect." Did it's mind numbing that these billionaires don't think of this, and then they come back and ask the fan to pass a bill and hand over their funds and still pay the ticket price and buy the jersey and buy the concession because of your dumb mistake. It's stupid. So I'm glad that everybody's waking up to it. I'm glad that fans as a whole are rejecting this nonsense. That's the only silver lining that I can have from this, because it's nonsense. It needs to end. It
Yeah.
absolutely needs to end.